So let's see what we're dealing with. So 20 before, spoked wheels, 160 rotors with mechanical brakes. Front suspension isn't lockable. It says on the site that it is, but it isn't. Coming up to front basket, attachment there. Really bright front light. It really is bright when it's on. Just I'll take my word for it. Charging port there. Far better than the other charging ports I'm used to from Ebike, which are just, in some cases, just a hole with a plug in it. These are far superior. There's the hinge mechanism there. Metal pedals. Coming round to the rear wheel. It says it's a 500 watt motor, Soto, which is the same company that Ebike use on some of their bikes, but theirs are unbranded. Nice kickstand. 160 rotor at the rear. Mechanical brakes. Also has this nice rear rack. Easily attach a side pannier too, which is handy. Rear battery there, or mid battery, and there's another battery in there, both the same. So you're at the rack there, look. And we're coming down to Shimano Tawny derailleur. I think that's a 52 tooth chain ring. There's the mechanism there, which you can see that's the locking mech. It's a very good locking mech. Coming up here to, as I say, the second battery, keys. There's a charge port on the rear battery there, and it's removable. This one's removable too. Again, front wheel, plastic fenders, front and rear, which I prefer. Nice solid gooseneck. Very comfortable adjustable height saddle. Nice comfortable hand grips. Control buttons there. You get a bell. There's the screen, which we've come to get used to on some of the, I think it's on the Ebike Engine Pro 2.0. Tombstone gear changer there, 7-speed. Throttle, comfortable grip. Coming round to the front, we've got mechanical brake levers, front and rear. Cables are quite tidy actually, and I do like the fact that we can pop these out, that they're not all tied in, so if anything goes wrong it's a quick swap out. I like that. But yeah, it's a gorgeous looking colour. I really do like the colour of this bike. Let's go test it out, see what it can do. So going downhill, it's the usual thing, gravity pulling me down. And because it's got no rear suspension, it's quite stable. You know, I'm having to brake coming up to 30 mile an hour. But it's the usual problem with mechanical brakes. Anyway, let's get on and do the hill climb. Put the bike weight up on the screen now. Cadence sensor instead of a torque sensor, which I've been riding around on lately. And this is just a case of turning your legs. This doesn't just turn the chainring and it gives you all the power all at once. I'm in pass 5, gear 6. And yeah, I might have to drop it down to 7. I'm not feeling anything in the bike. 500 watt motor apparently. So I've got this unlocked because you can unlock it, and I want to have some fun on this bike today for a change. But it's having absolutely no problems getting up here, and that means I'm having no problems getting up here. Yeah, it's done it. That's quite a high speed to be coming up here at. You know, 750 watt motors don't come up here at that speed. So yeah, pretty cool. So let's go on and do the bypass run. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the hill I have to come up to go onto the bypass run, and this is quite a hill in itself. I'll tell you what, this 500 watt motor just doesn't seem to be struggling going up hills whatsoever. I've ridden round on it unlocked, and it's just got a lot of power regardless. When you lock it, it's only a retardation of the speed limit at 15.5 miles an hour, but it's got some power to it. You feel the torque in it. Anyway, let's do the bypass run. It's a nice day for it. I'll get it in early today. I'm in pass 5, gear 7. And it's shorts weather. Yes! Start of meteorological summer. I've been in shorts for about a month now anyway, but you can still get a bit of purchase on the gears and put power in it about 22 miles an hour, but after that it's ghost pedaling. And even at ghost pedaling, this thing, well, you can see I'm doing 25 miles an hour near enough. With no issues. It's a powerful bike, this. I don't know if you remember the video I did, I'll add it in the link of the Fafrees F20, that little thing. That was a pokey little e-bike, it really was. Really did shift. And it was light. This thing is a bit heavier, but we are carrying in 2 batteries over 20 amperes of power. It's probably nearer 21 amperes. Oddly, on the website, if you look at the European page, not the UK page, they do this in 24 and 26 ampere range batteries, which makes more sense. Because they could have probably got, and I think somebody else has mentioned it in their review, just a 20 ampere in that centre bit. I suppose they rely on the design of the bike, but here's the other thing. You can remove that of the battery if you're not going far. Oh, you are coming past me. Right, coming down here, I'm hitting 26, 27, 28. Let's hit the brakes. They're not the best. And this goes back to my constant point out that mechanical brakes on any bike that weighs over 20 kilos is dog shit, and these guys, Fafrees chaps, you need to get some hydraulic brakes on your bikes. I know it's a cost-saving exercise, but you know, these are not the best brakes even for mechanical. So as you can see, I'm coming down here 30 odd mile an hour. That's gravity for you. I'm not pedaling, so I'm not using any energy. 32 mile an hour. Yeah. Can't really knock that, can you? Let's have a bit of music. just hit 16 miles and I've just dropped a bar. So it's actually nearer, is it? Nearer 17 miles and I've dropped a bar. So range on this is going to be really good. As we know, the last 2 bars tend to go down. In fact, every time it goes down a bar, you lose a certain amount of torque power because the batteries aren't giving out their best, especially when it comes to lag. But here's another thing. Don't forget, every time I review one of these bikes, these are on brand new batteries. These aren't gone for a few cycles yet, so they're not running at their most efficient. Or the reality is, if I was to use this bike again after running it 5 or 6 cycles, I'd probably get far better range. Well, I'd say far better, but at least another 5%. And 5% is 5%. It's free range. Not like the eggs. What am I waffling on about? So in pass 3, it takes you up to about 1 mile an hour after the speed limit, and then tends to retard the speed at around about, I'm going downhill now, but it's about 16.5 mile an hour. It's 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. So if you want to unlock it, and you want to seem to be legal riding around, and not sort of hammering it at 25-30 mile an hour, you can just put it in pass 3. Pass 3 keeps you, like I said, around the speed limit, which is brilliant. So let's go up here and do the Benny Hill and see what we can get going up here. I've got it in gear 6 at the moment. We won't be staying in gear 6, and I'm in pass 5. So with this cadence sensor at this speed, I'm just turning my legs. I am absolutely putting 0 energy into this bike. And it's having absolutely 0 problems at the moment. I normally have to change gear here. I know I'm going to have to change it in a minute. Let's go off a couple of cogs. But yeah. Right, I finally bit the gears now. Hit 15.5 mile an hour. I can hear the motor struggling a bit. But I'm barely putting any energy into this. You can tell by the way I'm speaking. I mean, if I'm out of breath, I can't speak. And, well, it's got up here quicker than most on a 500 watt motor. And when it's locked, it's restricted to 250 watts, 15.5 mile an hour. But I'm guessing it wouldn't have any problems with that either if it was locked. It's a very comfortable bike. This saddle's really comfortable. You don't even notice you haven't got any rear suspension on this bike at all. I'm guessing you can hear those brakes though. So we're going to come up here a bit and do the partial hill climb. I'm going to stop around about here, and we're, as you can see, we're partially quarter way up the hill. So I'm going to hit the throttle to get it going, release the throttle, pass 5, I'm away. Yeah, I'm just turning my legs at this point. Brilliant. Well done.
I don't think you got this much.
No, I don't. Well, it's because I'm on a bike and people don't give a flying f***. Sorry about the language, but... So I like to come down this bit to see if there's any rattles, and you can see the state of this road here, look. It's... There's no rattles, nothing. Just that brake noise. Let's have a mooch around town. Or can I make the lights today? I doubt that very much. Nah. For such a brilliant bike, just so let down by these brakes. But a cheap swap out, I mean, to swap these brakes out to hydraulic will cost you about 50 to 70 pound, and then I'd uprate the rotors with some spacers to 180s, and you're away. Maybe a 203 at the front, 180 at the rear, and you're into £100. But £100 on top of the price of this bike is nothing. Right, yeah, you can tell how nimble this bike is, but it's really nimble. I think it's because of the battery weights stuck in the middle of the bike, which really does well for balance. If you know anything about mid-engine cars, it's the same sort of theory. Yeah, I like this bike. Let's see who walks out on me today. Everybody walks out on me down here. Let's do the tire grip test. Yeah, these are fine, look. Guy have a lot of grip. Yeah, really good tyres. With a little bit of help from the throttle, this thing shoots off. Really does. You know, this is what I mean about unrestricted, and the fact that you're not in traffic's way. I think being in traffic's way is more dangerous than anything, because people get frustrated and want to pass you. I mean, I'm all for a limit of 17.5 to 18 mile an hour. It's not a big jump. I know a lot of you would like 20 mile an hour, even more you would like 30 mile an hour, but then you are into, you know, moped territory, and they're never going to allow that. But yeah, there's a lot to like about this bike. So it's meant to be bright sun today and no wind. It's windy and the sun's intermittent. According to the BBC weather app, it's 50% of the time wrong, and when it's right, it might as well be wrong. Does anything in this country actually work as it's meant to work anymore? I think weather forecasters are a con. They don't know what the weather's going to be as much as I do. You want to know what the weather's going to be like? Look out the window. I know I go on about this, but mirrors change the riding dynamic of e-bikes. They really do. They can get a 360 view of what's around you. Anyway, we've got a flat bit coming up, so I'm on 0 pass at the moment. I got up to a bit of speed and I'm going up a slight hill. Let's get into some usable gear. And I'm pedalling along and it's all right. It's, can imagine I ain't getting this up any hill anytime soon. So let's pull it into pass 1. Pass 1. I've got a bit of energy going on and I can feel a little bit of a difference, but it's nothing major. Pass 2. Again, a small increment in power. Nothing major. It's getting me up to 13.5 mile an hour. This is pretty flat here. Pass 3. Oh, I got a bigger jump out of pass 3. Yeah, you can see it's going up 15, 15.5. I mean, this is pretty flat. Pass 4. Let's go back down the gears. And I'm getting into, and I'm just virtually turning my legs at this point, 20 mile an hour. Pass 5. Don't forget this is unlocked. And again, I'm just turning my legs at this point. And yeah, loads of power, all the power I need really. This shifts. I mean, if this is truly a 500 watt motor, wink wink, This is a powerful 500 watt motor. Don't forget I weigh 240 pounds, so it's not dragging any lightweight round. Again, I'm just turning my legs. I'm putting absolutely no power into this bike coming up this hill. Now I've just got to bite on the gears at the peak of this hill. But, wow. So here we are, coming down to my favourite spot. I've been down here for a while. Tell you what, this saddle's comfortable. You don't realise it, like I said, you don't realise that you've got no rear suspension on this bike. It's just comfortable. Oh, it's my little Morris Traveller. I love that thing. Must belong to one of the boat owners. Hear those brakes? It's not much, but they're not brilliant. Right, let's drop this down because we don't need a lot of power along here. So yeah, what do I think this bike is like to ride round on? And it's very comfortable. Like I said, the fact that you've got no rear suspension, you don't realise it. It's mainly down to the comfort of this saddle. On gravel, this thing's fine. It's got good grip. These tyres are actually quite good. Yeah, gravel, it's fine. You can hear it. You can hear the tyre novels popping. Always sounds like you're getting a puncture, doesn't it? It's okay, love. I'm fine. I know how they feel. It's all right, calm down. Yeah, on gravel, this is, this is what you want. Yeah, it's like days on these that you just want to be out on your e-bike, just getting away from it all. And like I've said before in other videos that I've done coming down here, this is my getting away from it spot. It's everything I need. It's just a spot where I can come to and just chill out while I'm riding. There's just no traffic, and it's just a nice day out for me. I mean, the scenery is not bad either, is it? Let's be honest. And this always brings me back to the same point I always bring it to, which is the mental health benefits of these things. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my video about PTSD and how I suffer from it. This is better than any antidepressant, any antipsychotic drug they can offer me. This is my chill out point, because let's be honest, I'm not dealing with other people. I got it easier, so you're welcome. As I often say, that these things go hand in hand with camper vans and canal boats. These are just like your secondary mode of transport. And they're becoming more and more popular with that crowd. Morning. Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better place to come ride an e-bike than down here, but like I tell you all the time, there's canal routes near virtually everybody in the country. I mean, you might have to take your bike and put it in the car to get to a canal route. I mean, this one's about 7 miles from me, 8 miles from me. But when you're on an e-bike, you don't have to park anywhere. You come down here, you can bring yourself a picnic, you can find a spot, and it's just chill out time. So I'm looking at this and I'm 24 miles and I'm still 4 bars. I can't seem to stay in 4 bars for long, mind. And that's a crossover between, down here I'm on past 3, past 2, past 3, because I don't need to be opening this bike up. But around traffic, around town and stuff, I feel safer having this bike unlocked. Anyway, back to this bike. It's lovely. I love the colour of it. I really do like the colour of it. It's that mint green. And it comes in 2 other colours, and I'll put them up on the screen now so you can have a look at it. I think for what it costs, this is really good value, this bike. Really good value. You know, there's a lot of rubbish out there that you can buy for similar money. I'm actually got a video I'm going to be doing sort of next week about a bike that costs over £1,000. It is nowhere near as good as this, and it has a lot of fleas, and I've pretty much guaranteed that I won't be getting another bike out of the company. But I want to be honest about it, it's not a good bike for the money. I mean, if it was half the price, it'd be good value for money, but for what it is, it's not. Fafrees tend to offer really good value for money with their bikes, and I'm glad they sent me this. So they asked me what I wanted, and I did say that I wanted the F20 Max, which was like the next step up from the F20, which in itself was phenomenal for range. But this had a bit of bigger battery on it, and they said, well, do you want to try the Polar? And I was, oh yeah. Like I said, it's very odd that you can get a different configuration of this bike on the European site, but I don't know where their thinking is on that. I'd love to be able to buy this with a 24 ampere battery set or a 26.5 ampere battery. I'll put up on the screen what they're offering in Europe. Guys, if you're sending this one over, send us that one. I'm sure you'll get sales for it. You know, I'm nutting around at the moment, so let's pop it up to, pop the gears down, past 5, just gone down to 3 bars. Look at this thing shift. And this is quite bumpy rubbish that I'm going over. This isn't the best terrain. Look at it go. And I'm not putting any energy into this e-bike whatsoever, I'm just turning my legs. That's the joy of a cadence sensor. Gives you all the power all the time. As with a torque sensor, although I do prefer torque sensors, you go sort of getting as much power as you put into it, so it equals out the power that way. It's a more natural riding experience. I'm 62 above us. I don't know how many flies I've swallowed today, but it's a few. I mean, I'm all for a bit of free nutrition, and I need to lose weight. So that's something that I'm going to be doing over the next few months. I'm going to be dropping my weight down to around about 210 pounds. But to keep these reviews sort of on par, I'm going to start wearing a weighted vest as my weight goes down. So if my weight goes down 10 pound, I'm going to wear a weighted vest with 10 pound on it. So these reviews will always be based around 240 pound that's on the bike. So I've had the bike off for half an hour because I've been sat having a bit of lunch, and back to 4 bars, 26 miles. 26 miles on one charge and just hit 1 bar. Now I think that's nearer 3 bars than it is 4, but even 3, this means that I'm going to get, fingers crossed, about 50 miles range on one charge. 50 miles range in the way I've been riding it. Looks like the sun's decided to come out a bit more. Tell you what I've noticed, lots of birds tweeting. It's just nice. It's just nice to be out in the summer on an e-bike, just chilling out. And it is chilling out, even if I'm testing these bikes. I'm in a different world. So yeah. Come on then, let's have it. Great thing about this bike is the range, the unbelievable range. So if I was to keep this bike locked, fully legal, 240 pound, I'm coming up to 30 miles with 2 bars left, but I think it's nearer 3 because I've just come up a big hill, so I've got battery sag. But locked, you've got to be able to get 50 miles of range out of this easily. And that's me weighing, well, I could get that, and I weigh 240 pound, my pack. Actually, there's a bit more weight on the bike today, so it's probably nearer 245 pound this bike's dragging around. But yeah, it's just the range, those big 20x4-inch fat tyres, and the stability of the bike feels a lot less flexible than a 4 suspension e-bike. There's just a lot to like about this bike. I'll turn it off while we're going downhill. Let's turn it back on again, and I bet I'm back up to 3 bars. And there they are. So that's that battery sag coming up, that hill I've just come up. Because I don't show you all the hills I come up, and I do come up a lot of hills when I'm out riding to get to different places. I even have to go uphill to get to the hill climb. That's odd, isn't it? But yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm doing 28 mile an hour coming down here, but freewheeling, but I am. But yeah, can't really knock this bike, can you? So here we go, we're going up the horrible hill. We haven't been up here for a bit. And that's partly down to the fact that last time I come up here, I got a puncture, which I'm not a fan of. So we're down to 2 bars now. There might be some battery sag in that, but this ain't pushing out its optimal wattage. And as we all know, this is called the horrible hill for a reason. I'm having to put some effort in, Not a lot. We use the gears. Wish they cut these trees back. This is meant to be a cycle lane. But yeah, I've got a bit of burn in my quads, but nothing that I'm not used to. So on 2 bars, it's just made it up the horrible hill. Whenever I do this hill, I'm sort of like on the back end of the battery. So it's done well. I can start to feel the battery sort of depleting now, because the amount of power that I was getting before, I'm not getting the same as, I mean, it's not a massive amount, but you can feel it. Still, 2 bars, nearly 32 miles in. I bet if I was to turn this bike off and on again, I'd be back up to 3. I think we're sitting at around about 2.5 bars, but some interest. Let's turn it off. Let's turn it back on again. Yeah, 3 bars. So I think we're hovering around about the 2.5 bar. Just think if we were able to get another 30 miles out of that 3 bar setup. But knowing what battery chemistry is like, that ain't happening. So coming back through town, 3 bars still, past 5. Tell you what, it really does well this, because by the time I'm going to get home, it's going to be 35 miles minimum, and I reckon I'm still going to have 2 bars left. And those 2 bars will represent probably 10 miles. The suspension's alright. It's all or nothing. There's no lock off for it. Like I said, it does say on the website that it's lockable. Maybe that was a European site I was looking at. But it's so nice to have a bike that's you can ride around on and it's unlocked. It's a different animal. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the legal stuff I absolutely love. I mean, I was just emailing somebody back that was asking me about the L20 3.0 boost, and he lives in London and what they need. And I said, if you've got the money, go for the Pro. It's a completely different bike. The fact that I've had over 30,000 views of that video probably explains why they're sold out. In fact, it's the most popular e-bike review video I've done. I'd have probably had a bit more popularity with the boost version of the bike, but they sent it to me and I couldn't get around to reviewing it for 2 or 3 weeks, or 2 weeks. And in review time, that's a lifetime. Anyway, back down to 2 bars at 32.5 miles. I'm still in past 5. And we're off to do the off-road section of the review. Don't know if you can hear that wind on camera, but interesting to see how my drone holds out today. Or drones, I've got two with me. Yeah, and as I said in the other part of another part of this review, you don't feel like you've got no rear suspension because those big fat tyres at the rear. It doesn't bother me because the saddle's comfortable. This is a saddle I could easily do 70 miles on without complaining about it. It's a really comfy saddle. What's comfortable for me, on the other hand, might not be comfortable for you. So yeah, it shifts a bit, this bike. And I'm still in pass 5. Let's go off road for a bit. Now I don't know if you can see how bad and rough this ground is, but it's just divots. And it's divot upon divot upon divot. And I'm still getting 15 mile an hour out of it, and I'm just not putting any energy into it. I'm just turning my, well, I've got it in gear 3, which probably doesn't help, and I'm not putting any energy into it, and it's comfortable. I mean, it may not have lockout on that front suspension, but it feels really good. Like I said, I'm not missing having any rear suspension. Anyway, let's see what it's like off-road. I mean, down to 2 bars, and look at it shifting along here. And this ain't the smoothest ground either. It's a cracking thing, this. Really is a cracking thing. See, back up to 3 bars at 33.2 miles. And yeah, let's carry on with this off-road riding bit. Yeah, it's just a comfortable thing to be in. It's a really nice riding position. You know, some bikes get that wrong, and as I said earlier, I've got a bike to review, and I'll show you how wrong that is. But it's just a nice place to be on this bike. And it's something I've mentioned before on an e-bike, that it's just a nice spot to be on. I mean, I'm doing 11.5 mile an hour. These tyres are fine, it's grippy, this is gravel, sticks, all sorts of stuff. And it's absolutely fine. Let's go through here. Squirrel. Yeah, this thing's absolutely fine. I just feel so comfortable. I feel very secure on it. That's not something I can say about all the bikes I ride round on. I feel safe on it. Safe's the word. You know, this thing I feel safe on. Now you can see I'm back up to 3 bars. Let's go up the hill. Well, let's see if we can get up the hill. Well, it's getting up here. Back down to 2 bars. And it's done it. Yeah, it's done it. But yeah, it's this is a lot of bike for the money. In comparison with some of the bikes I see out there for the money, this is a lot of bike for the money. Really is. Like I said, from the off it shifts. You know, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's just a good e-bike. Full stop. Seen me come up this hill lately on different powerful e-bikes, and let's see if this bugger can make it up there. So let's get some pace going, because this is a terrible hill. But You know, being down to 2 bars, let's drop a couple of cogs, it's made it up here. That's pretty impressive, it's made it up here. It's got to its highest point there. Yeah, it's made it up here, look. I mean, it's a test I won't be running over the winter because this is just a swamp. But, yeah. Do I think this has any problems off-road? No. It's got 1 flea for me, this bike. Actually 1.5. Which I'll talk about in the breakdown. 36 miles, give or take. Well, 36 miles. 2 bars left. That's pretty good going. So next day, let's turn the bike back on. So hold that down till it comes back on, and 3 bars, 36 miles and 3 bars left. I think it's probably nearer 2, but I still reckon there's another 10, maybe more miles range left in this. And you saw how I rode this yesterday. Anyway, let's get on with this bit. How to unlock it. Press these 2 down. Go into the P settings. Now I've got this set up in miles per hour. Go into 8. Click this button here. You see that 25 mile an hour flashing? Well, that's the speed limit that it goes up to, but it will go a bit faster than that. And if you want it legal, you just click it down to 16. That's how it's come. I think it's 25 and 40 kilometers an hour out the box, but it's that simple. And to go back up to there, we've got 25, hit the I button. And we're back. So let's just have a quick test. There you go. So this thing will get up to about, if we leave it running, get up to about 25 mile an hour. There we go. That's it. Right, for a change, let's keep this quite short and sweet. So I've got 2 other reviews to film this week. What did I think of the Fafrees Polar? It's brilliant. And I know I keep saying this about e-bikes, but we have to remember is my age. So, you know, I'm 60 plus. These bikes to me are a revelation. I mean, if you're an 18-year-old kid, you're not going to find this very amazing, but I find these bikes brilliant. Most of them are. Especially the ones I get to review. I'm really lucky that I get the chance to turn down some of these 12-inch wheel things or these 14-inch wheel things that are just naff. They're just crap. I won't review them. With umpteen companies sort of reaching out to me to review their e-bikes, I feel quite, you know, quite chuffed. So anyway, getting back to the bike is brilliant. 1 big flea. Those brakes. Why do companies keep sticking these crap brakes on these brilliant bikes? Engwe does it. Engwe does it all the time. And it's a budgetary thing. And it's the only thing that lets this bike down in any way, shape or form. This bike, for a 500 watt motor, is fantastic. I mean, the range alone. I mean, I can see if I went back out and I got another 10 miles on that bike, maybe even 15. That's 50 miles of range the way I've been riding it. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a really surprising e-bike. I love the colour. That mint green. I asked them for mint green because I like the colour of it, and it is a really nice colour. Folds up, goes in the back of your car. It's not that heavy in comparison with other folders. I think it's in the middle. It's you know, it's not the lightest, but it's not the heaviest by a long chalk. Yeah, a lot to love about this bike. I really do like it. I really do like it. I like Fafrees bikes. That little bike they sent me before, that F20, it was a range killer. It was just amazing, that little bike. And that was one of the easiest to fold up and throw in the back of your car. I'll put a link into that at the end of the video. Yeah, brilliant bike. Let down by crap brakes. So this goes to all you manufacturers out there, and I keep saying it. Stop putting mechanical brakes on any bike that weighs over 20 kilos. They're crap. They're absolute dog shit. Stop it.
it just brings down my review points. And I'd have loved to have give this bike 9.5 out of 10. I'd have loved to. It's just unlocked. It's brilliant. We've got the ability to have it set up as legal. The throttle's legal if you have it set at 16 miles an hour. So yeah, you got the choice of it being legal or illegal. It comes with certification. It's just a good bike. But the fact that you can unlock it and act like a grown-up just makes it that little bit more valuable. So this is a shout out to all you companies that are just going straight down the legal route. Don't. Have something in the backup. It's exactly what Engwe are doing. Engwe have sort of bikes that are, and then they're full legal range. And I hope they don't go down that road where everything they do becomes just fully legal, because people still want bikes that they can unlock, regardless of what the law says. Give us the choice of whether we unlock them or not. So I'm going to have to give it 9.2 out of 10. Like I said, if it had been hydraulic brakes on there. And the other thing is, give us the choice. 24 amperes of range or 26.5 amperes of range. Why don't you send those to the UK? Something I just couldn't get my head around, because they'd sell even better. Like I said, and somebody else has mentioned in one of their reviews, that you can get that 20 ampere battery just in one battery. So you wouldn't have had, but for that, the bike's well balanced. The way they've set it up, it's really well balanced. And you feel that when you're riding it around, it just feels lighter. It doesn't feel like it's dragging at the front or the rear. So if you have a rack battery on, that tends to drag your bike around quite a bit. And it's something you get a feel for. Brilliant bike, brilliant bike. I'd put it in my top 5 e-bikes that I've reviewed. It's that good. It's that good. And to be honest, it's better than, I hate to say this, Engwe. It's better than the L20 3.0 boost. It really is. But it sort of evens itself out, because the boost is legal, and if you have this unlocked, it's not. It's complicated. If I had a relationship with these two bikes on Facebook, it'd be complicated. Coming up next is a trike review, which I'm doing this week, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you what the trike is, but I'm looking forward to doing it, and I'm going to have to set up a whole new way of testing these bikes, because they're not normal bikes, and they're not the sort of thing you're going to be using for work. These are for going out on picnics, shopping, and just going on little adventures, mini adventures. So I've got to set up a new way of testing these bikes, but regardless, it's still got to do the main hill climb. If it doesn't do that, I won't be reviewing a trike this week. That's it for now. Have a lovely week, everybody.